Can I replace honey with maple syrup in recipes that require honey? There are many recipes, or recipe variants, that require honey as ingredient. Barbecue spare ribs, honey lamb chops, honey raisin choc drops, honey shortbread biscuits, chocolate chip cookies, Krispie Shortcake, honey, lemon and rosemary marinade, pear and almond tart. May I generally use maple syrup in recipes that call for honey? Are there guidelines for when that substitution will work well?
Generally speaking, maple syrup will work fine in any recipe that calls for honey. They may have slightly different viscosities and water content, but that could be true between two honeys as well, so I wouldn't worry about it a lot. The only thing I think you really have to consider is whether the flavor of maple syrup is appealing in the dish you would substitute it in. In most cases, I think it will be fine, especially if the dish would have worked well with a dark, fully flavored honey. You might also like to try sorghum syrup, molasses, or agave nectar as other possible replacements. If you do use maple syrup, be sure to use 100% pure maple syrup. Any imitation or partial syrup will have a significantly different viscosity and a much, much higher water content, and you're not going to get the results you want. The first three ingredients in Aunt Jemima Original, see link 1, are corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, water, which is going to be pretty far from the taste and consistency of honey. Otherwise, I think a 1-to-1 substitution will be fine. I've done it before in a few dishes and it worked out well. As Michael said, see link 2. There are other options as well, just be sure to taste them and make sure they have a similar flavor profile as the dish you're trying to make. For example, I believe molasses would sub into chocolate chip cookies great, however maple syrup would probably taste a little strange. But, if I was making honey oatmeal cookies and ran out of honey, I would gladly sub in maple syrup. The Wikipedia page, see link 3, for molasses says the following about substitutions. For a given volume of molasses, one of the following may be used with varying degrees of success: an equal volume of honey, dark corn syrup, or maple syrup, or 3/4 that volume firmly packed brown sugar.